Dr. Tosta, and today I'm going to be talking about a story that made me who I am today. I just wanted to give a little bit of a trigger warning. I'm going to be talking about depression, suicidal thoughts, and bullying and harassment. So if that is triggering for you, please click off and then just write in the comments that you liked my trigger warning. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. This occurred when I was a freshman in high school. I was very excited to start high school, and I grew up in the time of High School Musical, and so the idea of having this great experience with all these great memories was amazing to me. My high school experience, spoiler alert, was nothing like that. For me with high school, I started with a core group of friends. I had a good solid group of friends, and as the year went on, I started losing them. There was girl drama, of course, because girl drama just seems to happen, and I lost a lot of my friends, and they started dropping like flies. Like, I had a group of friends, and then all of a sudden I lost one, and then I lost another, and there was this girl that was kind of going around, and I don't know what was happening, but she didn't like me, and then before I knew it, all my friends weren't my friends and were friends with her, and it was girl drama, 14-year-old drama. And instead of de-escalating the situation and just trying to be mature about it, I was a typical 14-year-old girl, and I just added fuel to the fire and pretended like things didn't bother me and said things to pretend like things didn't bother me, and it just escalated the situation. So when I was walking down the halls, my old friends would grab one another and look at me and start laughing, or I'd get Snapchats from them making fun of me. And for me, that was super hard because I was 14 and social media, Snapchat was new, it went away, I didn't have any proof of what was going on. And so by the end of freshman year, I lost the majority of my friends. But I had a little bit of saving grace. I played soccer, and I had friends from soccer, and that really helped push me through it. I would take my anger out on the soccer field. I would sit with the soccer girls and just hang out with them, because I went to school in a small city, so the activity that you participated in usually meant that those were the friends that you hung out with. And so luckily for me, I played soccer, so I had soccer friends. But then my sophomore year of high school, I got hurt. I messed up my back really bad for the final time. It had been an ongoing injury since I was about in 8th grade, but the doctors finally told me, you know what, you're done. It's too bad, you cannot do contact anymore. And so with that, like I said, you hang out with the activity that you're in. And since I was no longer in soccer, I no longer had soccer friends, which was really, really hard for me. I tried to make new friends though, and by junior year, I was hanging out with a new group of people. But at this point, I was so broken and so hurt that the first sight of someone hurting me, I would just push them out. So I would have friends, and then there would be a little bit of tension, and I would just be like, okay, we're not friends anymore, which is not the way to go about things. So by the time junior year came, I was in a really dark place. I was sleeping like 18 hours a day. I didn't want to leave my room. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to do anything. And my parents were really worried about me. They wanted me to go see a therapist. They wanted me to go get out. They wanted me to go get help, but I didn't want that. I thought that that made me crazy. And my idea was solidified when I went to school one day about going to physical therapy, and I told my teacher, hey, I have to go to therapy. And he told me, you go to therapy? You're crazy? And for me, it was just like, oh, I can't go get help now. I can't go see a therapist now, because then that will mean that I'm crazy, which is so crazy to think about that an educator would say that. But by junior year, I had lost those new group of friends, and I was now eating lunch in my car. I had to hide from security in fetal position in my car and eat my lunch behind my driver's seat so that security would not catch me and I would not get in trouble, but I just didn't have anywhere else to eat lunch. And so finally I hit a point where I was like, you know what, I don't care if I'm crazy, I need help, I'm not going to be able to make it out of this. But for people who have gone to therapy, you may know that going to therapy means that you are bringing out your problems and putting them right in front of your face. And in the beginning, that's really, really hard. And so the suicidal thoughts just pushed their way through even stronger. And my senior year, I almost committed suicide. I was alone in my house, in my room. I had everything ready. I had it all, everything written out. And the only thing that stopped me was, like I said, I slept a lot. And so while I was doing my final things, I was in my bed crying, and my body put itself to sleep. And for me, that's why I'm standing here today. And that's a really hard thing to wrap your mind around. But as I got out of high school, I learned that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, that other people's lives and my lives are better if I'm actually living. And I did that through therapy. And so I wanted to talk to you guys today because I know that mental health is really, really bad right now with a lot of people, with all of us in quarantine, and I wanted to let people know that you're not alone and that there are resources. CSUN has resources. There are so many resources around. I was juggling different topics and decided that I really wanted to talk about this because it's a big issue and a pressing issue. And so I hope that you guys stuck around. I hope that maybe you got something out of it, and I hope that you enjoyed. Bye guys.